What up, random rockers? Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Before I get into talking about this movie, I have a few things I'd like to mention and talk about. And I also have something to do a little bit about this, I guess. And that's, or at least in what I'm doing with this, and that's, I like to give a shout out to ArcDK and Fox Senpai. Though specifically ArcDK, capital A-R-K, and capital D, capital K. Fox Senpai, Senpai spelled S, capital S, E-M-P, A-I or I-A. Either way, both are actually gaming channels. If you like them, go check them out. They're actually mutual friends of mine, and also they liked movies. However, aside from a certain particular vlog that ArcDK does every Sunday, they mentioning something about Deadpool at one point, they never really got around to actually reviewing movies until now. Just yesterday and just today, with a spoiler on look up for Batman v Superman No Spoilers review on ArcDK's channel called Two Idiots and a Movie. And despite if you can get past you have to turn it all the way up, unfortunately, unless they found a way to correct it. I doubt it, but we'll see. But yeah, go check their review out. Some of what they have to say, I do honestly agree with as well, and I will point out in my review also. And let's see. And I think that's about it on that. Now to the other announcements I will do after I do this review. Minor spoilers depending, it's not so much on this movie, but on previous movies. This movie, it's actually, the thing is, I've seen other reviewers, they've given this a very mixed reaction. It's not a great movie, clearly, but it's not a bad movie, but it has flaws. Some noticeable flaws, sometimes cringe-worthy, right-in-your-face flaws. However, Zack Snyder's directing, though some people will blame him, I will rather blame the Warner Brothers and DC, not getting their shit like Man of Steel to some degree or another, I guess. Even though I did enjoy Man of Steel, maybe a little bit more than this, a little bit, but not me. But it kind of, it just wavers here and there between this movie and that. It's quite the farce. But the thing is, for the farce that it is, it's a very good one. Don't get me wrong, it's still mixed, but it actually is a good film. It's not great by any means. It's not very solid, but for the kind of mess that this movie honestly is, some people starting to compare with the Spider-Man 3 thing. In terms of how they handle it, maybe, but it's way better movie than that. It's way better than the train wrecks we had of, we're going to just call that Fantastic from last year, and Amazing Spider-Man 2 from 2014. And it's definitely no Joel Schumacher Batman levels of, oh, fuck no. Or the latter Superman films after Superman 2. Thank goodness gracious for that, though. It's mind-blowing in the sense of the spectrum of good and bad that's done in this movie. Even with the bad, it's so directly It's visually so stunningly put together in such a way that it still somehow works as a film, even though the moments that when they really start to like show as to how crappy it gets, like maybe about 5 moments are obvious. First moment, certain where Batman's origin, or at least how they wind up capping it off, it's like, what the hell just, and they trying to cop it off as a vision, but I don't know what to make of that. The end speech after in the party, like escort party from our Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor. Oh my god! And most of this, he has good lines, but they could have been delivered better. How Michael Rosenbaum or Kevin Spacey would have coming back to do these would have been much better. It's just Eisenberg. This isn't your role, despite Social Network. Hell, if you looked a little more at some of the things you did about Social Network, it could have transitioned over better. And some moments, like the big speech and the reveal thing, leading up to pretty well why people are seeing this movie in the first place. This is actually not bad. It's just he's just can't. It's the way the script some of the script is done. It's not, or at least the screenplay itself is not handled with quite the right amount of care. But the choreography and the action choreography, the world building of this film, if you will, is what makes this film so visually stunning. But its story and development for this one film, just this one film as a whole, just doesn't work all that well. But it yet somehow it does. And I will say, anyone who doubts Ben Affleck after this, Superman punch to the face. I mean, like Roman Reigns, Superman punch to the face, honestly, but wrestling reference. Wrestling reference. Yes, we'll go with that. I wanted to do it redneck, I guess. Poor execution, I guess. Just like some of the things in this movie. But, wow. Just, other than Jesse Eisenberg being crap. Gal Gadot was fine for what little she was in the movie. But she's still kind of a little tiny. She has the look. She has the look, she just doesn't have the build. Necessarily. But Henry Cavill's still great. Amy Adams is great. Lawrence Fishburne went with what little he has in this movie is fantastic as Perry White. Just his wittiness sometimes, just the lines he delivers. Best performance I've seen from him since freaking Morpheus in the Matrix. Oh my gosh. Yes. Hell yes. Oh. It's like I've been waiting for that Lawrence Fishburne or whatever for a while. Long while. Jeremy Irons Alfred is fantastic. And yeah. He's the Bruce, even as far as both Bruce Wayne and Batman cohesively by one actor. Yes, Ben Affleck proves he's got the role down pat, and I'm glad he is, because if he didn't, then there would be no hope for him directing the later Batman films that will probably have. Oh, wow. I'm sorry this review isn't coming across all that great, guys, but I mean, if you see the movie, man, you'll kind of understand why this review is a little difficult for me to do from just the fact of the mess. There's greatness and potential, but it was kind of stuck in this little mess of things, of too many stuff happening, but not to the extent that it doesn't somehow, some way flow together well. And when they don't, they stick out like a sore thumb. Ah, man. Wow. As far as I'm concerned about this movie, I'm on a mixed plane. It's like, I guess it's kind of like a two-way street here. I mean, at times it has the potential to really rock the heck out, but at times it's like you want to just create a Molotov cocktease and throw it at the silver screen and start a riot for some of these scenes that really stick out like a sore thumb. And just be like, no, I mean, it's that kind of a farce to have that level of greatness and potential, but to go from that to just this when they stick out like a sore thumb is just mind blowing to me. So it's just I'm kind of I'm at a loss for words. I'm mixed. I don't know else to really say without spoiling too much about it. I wish that, and except, I mean, they're really setting this up for the obviousness with the Justice League movie so that we're going to get later, potentially, depending on how well this sells, and hopefully this movie doesn't get such negative reception that it may be getting, or mixed reception, and slightly small levels of positivity maybe coming out of it. I hope that Suicide Squad doesn't suffer because of it, because Suicide Squad does not look like we're going to have a superb amount of problems with that. So, at least I hope you guys try to go see that when it does come out, because I know I will be. And it's Henry Cavill, it's Clark Kent and Superman. They're fine. That conflict's great, but the best I can say is pretty well it's a mixed bag, guys, for sure. But it's more on the good side than it is the bad. But when the bad happens, it really somehow finds a way to shine and overlap it for like those few moments or scenes, I should say before it can come back through and try to get us back on board and keep us engaged. It's wow. Anyway, yeah, that's and Doomsday. You've seen the second trailer, you know Doomsday was coming, and that I wish they would have focused a little, even far more. If they just put in more time and it wasn't so rushed, they could have put more attention to detail, at least to Doomsday's facial features. Make him try to look a little less like Zod and a little more like he was in the comics. Like they could have, especially with how they made him evolve and stuff with that fight scene. That fight, which wasn't bad for what it was, but but it happened the way that it did. It's some things are kind of predictable at moments, but those moments you kind of wanted to like smile when it was smile and see how it was executed if you wanted it to happen. Especially when it comes to certain scenes with Batman. Uh, it was wow. Wow. A lot of Dark Knight Returns and Sense of Doomsday, you already kind of if you know what makes Doomsday so popular, yet that's kind of where the predictability kind of slightly comes into play, but at the same time it's like really they actually went there? They just decided to go there? But whatever. Again, overall, I'm looking for Suicide Squad. I'm still working forward to seeing what they try to do with Justice League and hope that they, actually learns from some of the mistakes they made in this movie, what few that there are. And yeah, other than that, guys, my other announcements would be Weezer. Would be the Weezer thing. I may do Deftones, music wise. Album by album, I think. Or I don't know if I'll do Random Rock Countdown for that. However, I have decided for Weezer, I will be doing Random Rock Countdown. So sometime after the release date, or within the month of April, I will definitely be expecting episode 2 with Weezer and talking all of 10 albums of their discography. Hopefully I improve on my licks. And that's it, guys. What did you think of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? If you like this video, rock that like button if you have to. Leave a comment down in the description box to not only tell me what you think about the movie, but also what you think I could possibly do with my channel, what ideas maybe you think would be great, or suggestions. I don't care. Do it. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. And I'll see you next time. That's about it. And sorry if you can't hear my voice right now. I've been pretty sick, so I'm sorry for that. Keep it rocking.